Hi everyone, how's it going? Looks like we have some more information from Aptera. This news is also good because it talks about how the solar panels did on very cloudy days. So we're just going to go ahead and talk about that. So let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. We're glad to have you here. Thank you for joining me at Free Power. We're going to talk about some more information from Aptera that they released on their website showing how the solar panels reacted on different days. So I got the data here. So let's go ahead and look at this. Okay, this was the first one that I did when they first came out with the testing video that generated 4.4 kilowatt hours on June the 19th. So we already talked about that one. So let's move on to the next one. I believe they did like 6 days. I believe this was the first one they did because they did this on May the 29th. And this one you could tell it was partially cloudy too. I'll just go ahead and read what they have here. It says, this day was arguably the cloudiest of the bunch. Generation got off to a strong start in the morning, then took a sharp dip as clouds moved in around 9:30 a.m. and stuck around through nearly 1 p.m. Even with the extended overcast stretch covering the prime midday hours, the vehicle still managed to peak at 499 watts at 10:55 a.m. and finished the day at 3.6 kilowatt hours over 10.1 hours of sunlight capture. So this one they got at least up to 36 miles of range in 10 hours. And it was mostly cloudy. And you could see where it dipped greatly because of the cloud cover, not a lot of sun. And then as the sun peaked, they got a peak power of 499 watts. And then all throughout this part, you can see where it's down and up. And then the rest of it didn't look too bad. So that was on May the 29th. Let's see. They actually repositioned the car throughout the day to follow the sun on this one. All right, let's take a look at the next one. You can see that this was actually on June the 8th, and they repositioned throughout the day again on this one. Says this day produced the highest energy total in this data set at 4.6 kilowatt hours, or roughly 46 miles of added range based on our target efficiency of 100 watt hours per mile. The chart has a distinctive flat top shape through the midday hours, which reflects what active repositioning can do. So that was them repositioning the car throughout the day. And on this day, they got a pretty good hefty 46 miles of range. Of course, that took about 12.2 hours to get that amount of power from the sun. So, all right, let's move on to the next day. That was June the 8th. Okay, on this one, this was actually on June the 10th, the very next 2 days. And this one has a beautiful dome shape. So let's see, during this day of solar testing, the vehicle was parked in a fixed position while we tracked the sun throughout the day. The result is a clean bell curve, exactly what a great solar day looks like. Generation kicked off at 6:51 a.m., climbed steadily through the morning despite some broken cloud cover early on, and peaked at 527 watts just before 1 p.m. The afternoon brought a smooth, symmetrical decline with a brief patch of clouds returning near sunset before the day wrapped up at 7:10 p.m. By the end of the day, Atlas had captured 12 12.3 hours of sunlight and generated 3.9 kilowatt hours. Based on our target efficiency of 100 miles, of course, that is roughly 39 miles of added range. So this day is a great example of what Atlas can do just sitting still in a sunny parking lot. So, I mean, they still did pretty good. Look what they came out with. They ended up with 33.9 kilowatt hours, and they peaked at 525 watts. So, nicely done. And that's of 12.3 hours of solar. And so on the last day that they did, this was June the 16th. Well, actually, the last day was the 19th, the one that they started out with. But on the 16th here, you can see that this day experienced more clouds than usual, with overcast skies through the morning until nearly 10 a.m. and again in the evening starting around 4:42 p.m., creating that choppy, jagged drop-off that you can see at the right side of the chart, which is right here. But at the beginning of the day, it did the same thing. In between, Atlas powered through a clean midday stretch of peak at 519 watts at 1:24 p.m. Despite all of that, the vehicle still generated 4 kilowatt hours over 12.1 hours of sunlight captured, parked in a fixed position the entire day. Based on our design target, that is 40 miles. So, I mean, that's pretty good. With it just being parked, they still got 40 miles of range without having to move the vehicle at all. And this was on a really partly cloudy day at the beginning and a really partly cloudy day at the end. So they could have gotten more. But these tests are really showing us how things are working out basically as Aptera had planned. So the summary of all this, why they did the testing, repositioning the vehicle throughout the day might sound like extra effort, but it's actually pretty natural when you think about how most people use their vehicles. It's easy to imagine moving your Aptera 2 to 4 times a day, just going about your routine. Driving to work, heading out for lunch, running errands, and coming home. Parking with the sun exposure in mind is a simple habit, and repositioning once around solar noon when the sun is at its peak is something most people can do coming back from a lunch break. The goal is not to ask Aptera owners to go out of their way. It is simply to show that a little awareness of where you park can meaningfully add to your daily solar range. And what the data tells us. This data shows us something genuine and exciting. Aptera generates meaningful solar energy consistently across a range of real-world conditions. From a clean bell curve day to morning and evening battling cloud cover, the results held steadily between 3.6 and 4.6 kilowatt hours, translating roughly to 36 to 46 miles of added range per day, just from the sun based on the design target of 100 watt hours per mile. No plug-ins, no detours to a charging station, just sunlight doing the job. And I think that's really good. They did an excellent job with what the testing that they've done so far. And of course, we're still going to get some third-party testing. But to me, I mean, I think even if you just leave it in one position, you're still going to get some really good sun. But no doubt, I mean, you're going to drive it throughout the day if you're going to work every day. So that's going to be another test to do to see how much solar you get while you're moving the car around to and from work or whatever activities that you're going to have planned for that day. But anyway, what do you guys think? Tell me your thoughts on this. when they park the or position the Aptera throughout the day is when they got the most wattage, 46 kilowatts. But even with it being parked in a nice sunny day, they still got 4 kilowatts. So I guess moving it around wouldn't be, if you got the time to do it, then that would be good to do, to add more time to your battery, more mileage, more range. And for those that don't, I don't think it would be that much of a problem. But once again, what do you guys think? I mean, but it looks like what Aptera is doing, at least they're making headway, and they just need to really go ahead and get all the testing done and the validation done so that we can see exactly what Aptera can do. But once again, we're going to leave it right here. We're going to wait for them to come out with some more information, and then we will go from there. But you guys take care. I hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a good one and enjoy the rest of your day. And we will catch you in the next video. All right, you guys take care. Bye-bye.